Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Minority Movie Report. My name is Rudy.
And I'm Candace.
And today on the report, we're going to be covering Wonder Woman 84, a highly divisive movie. From what I've seen on the internet, this seems to be like a love it or hate it sort of film.
I would have to agree, but I am not on the love side of the spectrum.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I didn't hate the movie. It just didn't do it for me for like other DC. Not saying that DC movies usually do it for me, but especially in this film, I just felt like it was just a lot going on. There were a bunch of different storylines all trying to happen at once, and while I get the story that they were trying to tell, I felt like it was just so long and all over the place.
It felt very, I don't want to say it's a perfect one-to-one, but it felt like the Spider-Man 3 from Sam Raimi.
I was actually thinking the Fantastic Four with Michael B. Jordan.
Ooh, okay. Damn.
Was it Michael B. Jordan?
Yeah, the new one?
Yeah,
the Fan Force stick.
The terrible one.
Yeah.
They should have just stuck with Jessica Alba and Chris Evans if they wanted to. That was Fantastic Four enough.
Yeah, I gotta watch those movies.
So that's
again.
how I kind of feel. Like it was just a lot of build up and a lot of background, and at the end they're like, "Oh yeah, the big part. Here you go."
Oh right, we're supposed to build to a climax.
To a villain.
Fuck.
Or like Suicide Squad, where they gave you all this background and all this build up, and towards the end you're like, "Oh yeah, there's a villain. Shouldn't we do something about this villain that we've been doing all this preparation to defeat?"
Yeah.
So
it definitely has the DC. I call it the DC problem. It's not to
consistent.
Say it's very inconsistent. The movies are, for the most part, pretty trash. I did like Shazam. I liked the first Wonder Woman. I liked the first Wonder Woman a lot, actually. So I was very excited when this one got announced, and then they pushed it back, and they pushed it back, and they.
Do you think your expectations were too high?
No, I don't think they were. Because my expectations are very tempered when it comes to DC.
Okay.
When it comes to like Marvel, I get
expectations.
I get my expectations. Like Marvel always hits like a B grade movie, like average, like lowest I've ever seen a Marvel movie. B.
What's your lowest ranking Marvel movie?
Oof. I'm not a huge fan of Ant-Man and the Wasp. I think that'd probably be my lowest. Thor.
Okay.
Dark.
Hear me out when I say this. People are gonna hate me.
Okay, hot take.
I didn't love Iron Man 2.
Okay.
I didn't love it. I mean, I understand the purpose of Iron Man 2, but I didn't like, when I watched the second one, I was just like, cool, more
So
Robert Downey Jr.
He's just got whips now.
And yeah. I mean, obviously superhero movies, another villain. It's a continuation of a story, but compared to all of the other Marvel movies and like the build up and like I just didn't love Iron Man 2. Not to say that I didn't like it and that I wouldn't watch it, especially if I'm watching, like the whole like trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
It's a trilogy. I don't love the second one. It's on my bottom of Marvel movies is Iron Man 2.
No, I get it. Interesting.
But we digress.
Yeah, we're here for a DC movie. So let's start with, because we're gonna jump around a lot, and obviously this is a deep dive, so this is gonna be heavy spoilers. So I want to start with the good, because there's a lot less good than there is bad. I think I told you in the movie theater, this is like a 60-40. This is like a 60% bad movie, 40% good movie.
I'm
like
more
average.
70-30, 70 bad, 30 good, because for the most part, I just felt like it was just. Again, I felt like it was just all over the place.
Okay, so obviously the good is lesser. So let's start with the short list. Good things. Good things that you loved. For me personally, I really liked that intro. I liked everything with Chris Pine, Steve Trevor.
Yeah.
Always a delight to see him on screen. I love his acting, his comedic talent, his timing. It's all very good.
I really loved Kristen Wiig's character in this one. And I already like Kristen Wiig, and I feel like she's very underrated. Mm-hmm. And even though this movie wasn't hers, and even though I did not like the way they told her story in this particular movie, I think this speaks to a lot of range that Kristen Wiig has, and I would love to see her in more serious roles because she flipped to that dark side. Like she's the funny, she's quirky, and she did the nerdy you know, part very well. Like we've seen her in skits like that for SNL and even in movies. But this one, I feel like you really kind of
she's a great dramatic actress. Yeah, she's done some really good smaller stuff. I think she did one with Bill Hader called like my Other Brother or something. That one was really good.
Yeah, so I'm just happy that that's kind of getting pushed out there into like the limelight. I think that she really deserves it. I liked her character.
She was a bright spot in this movie for me. I actually really enjoyed her turn as the villain in this film. I just don't think, and this is the part that I'm having a hard time with, because it's not like she was bad, but the writing was awful.
And to be honest with you, I personally preferred her transformation storyline over the whole, like, the stone. And I understand that the stone was an integral part of us getting introduced to Cheetah. However, I think that personally they could have given a little bit of, they could have started off with that whole, you know, Diana introduction and stuff like that, and they could have, just as they did, went into the introduction for her and kind of given her just like they could have just mushed her kind of like scenes together. You know what I mean? Like kind of like, instead of going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, I kind of wish they would have given us just a little bit of her, like all of her like background, like her finding the stone and kind of getting a little bit more into her turning into the cheetah before we got into the whole make a wish thing. Right. It just got so muddled, and I was more interested in watching Kristen Wiig's evolution.
I would have liked to see Kristen Wiig and Gal Gadot kind of play off each other a little bit more, because they had some really good interactions. I really enjoyed their chemistry on screen, because they did play like, oh, I'm the nerdy new kid at school, and Gal Gadot's like the popular cheerleader. And so
they kind of gave you that dynamic. It wasn't necessarily like outright and set out front like that, but they were definitely. She was vibes.
Gal Gadot was super kind. She wasn't like the evil chick. She's like the super nice popular girl. She's like, oh, you got hired here last week. I'm so sorry.
Like Mary Jane type popular girl.
Kinda, yeah. Just super kind, not rude.
Yeah.
But like that just goes to speaking to Wonder Woman's heroism. But it was one of those things, like, I would have liked to see them interact more and develop that friendship further. So that way, when you get to the betrayal and the last fight, there's like felt that weight to that. Yeah, and I just didn't feel it.
So you take the part where you have Gal Gadot and Wonder Woman and what's her name? Kristen Wiig's character. I can't think of it off the top of my head. I just watched the movie.
Barbara something.
Barbara. So you take Diana and Barbara, and you kind of, like you said, you develop that relationship a little bit, and that betrayal would have been more impactful. So now you have their storyline. You have Steve Trevor and Diana. You have their storyline, and then you have the whole situation with Wonder Woman trying to figure out what's his name, Maxwell Lord's character. Like, there was just so many.
It was definitely a very busy movie. But it was like. It was too busy, and they tried to give everybody equal weight and equal time, and I don't think in a movie like this, like, if you're going to do it like this, you can't do that. Yeah. We already know Gal Gadot, we already know Steve Trevor. We don't need to hang out with them the whole time.
Yeah.
We could have cut a bunch of that out.
And I get it. I think that's a really cute aspect of the movie, but was his part really even necessary in this movie? Could the movie have progressed without him?
Absolutely. I think it could have. Actually, I take that back. Because this is our third time seeing the movie.
This is my second time.
This is my third time. So as I was watching the movie, I was thinking of ways that maybe the script could have been improved, because, again, I'm with you.
We're not professionals, by the way. This is 100% our opinion. We don't think that
I'm just being a trash fan, thinking of ways that I might have improved the movie. Now, how that all plays out in reality, no one knows. But for me, I would have liked to see Barbara and Diana develop that friendship early on. The stone gets introduced regardless.
Yes.
That's very critical. But it was
maybe like a little bit farther in. Like maybe they had actually gone to lunch by this point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, actually, I think I would have liked it at the beginning. And then they're doing like detective work, try to find out what the stone is. Build that friendship together.
That's cute.
Yeah. So, and then after one night of going out and they're hanging out, you know, Barbara's like, oh, I wish I was more like Diana. And then I wish I was Diana or something, or I wish I was more like Diana. And then it becomes like, now she's taking Wonder Woman's powers instead of Diana losing her powers, wishing for Steve Trevor. Diana and Barbara are becoming like archaeological detectives. They're looking at stuff. They're like building that bond, and then she wishes to be more like Diana, and Diana wishes for Steve Trevor. But because it has to, it's a wishing stone, so it has to take something away. It takes away Diana's power, but Steve Trevor still comes back in a dude's body, so we know it's not. The wish didn't just like appear Steve Trevor. It's like,
right.
Can you live with the fact that you took this man away
so
from somebody else, so you could have him? Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to do that to somebody else?
And then
that would have been really like somebody, and then like his family.
Why weren't you in the writing room, Rudy?
Because they don't.
Why weren't you in the writing room?
I didn't apply, and I have exactly zero clout on the internet, let alone in Hollywood.
Somebody pick Rudy up for DC movies for them to get their storyline.
Like, I think it would have been really cool to like, because he lives in DC, and then like maybe his like mom or dad comes to visit, and they're like, Ricky, what? Oh my God, you have a girlfriend, and then it's like, I'm not really Ricky, and
just kidding.
And now I got to introduce you to my girlfriend that I didn't tell you about, and it becomes like a fun little movie. I would have liked the stakes to be more personal for them, like the wishing stone only affects like a handful of people. I don't think we need Maxwell Lord in this movie.
I was gonna say also, I don't think we needed to see everybody wish, like all of that. And I get it, you needed to show like that chaos, but there's been ways that you could show like widespread chaos in a matter of seconds versus whole 30 minutes.
I would have still liked to seen a giant fight between Kristen Wiig and Gal Gadot or Barbara and Diana, but have it be like now Barbara has all of Diana's powers, so now she has to use the suit of the Amazon that got left behind to fight her, to show her like, you may have all my powers, but you don't have all my skills. And I'm gonna whoop your ass sideways because I know how to. Like, you're new to this. I've been.
But
here.
now she's an apex predator. Like she's got all. But
we don't need to call her. We can call her. She's like, I'm fast like a cheetah, and then she's like sticks to like a leopard print motif, but she doesn't need to transform into like the cheetah thing. It's like a costume.
Yeah, I didn't like the CGI thing.
Yeah, it was really bad. But like that's where I'm at right now. Like I in my head, I can see this movie going so right. You just built a better movie. I can see this movie going so right in so many ways. Cute, awkward, like Steve Trevor. It was like just romantic, like rom-com sort of situation. And then you have like the best friend.
I think they got overwhelmed trying to get it out. And I think they got overwhelmed trying to live up to the
absolutely. And I think a lot of people got involved that shouldn't have. But I would have also liked to see like that jealousy between like Barbara and Steve Trevor trying to vie for Diana's attention.
Ooh.
Because it's like we've been friends, we've been homies,
right?
And then you just bring your ex back into
that we just talked about had died, so now something's up Diana.
Well, she doesn't even have to admit that he died. She's like, oh,
well, she had already told. But I'm just saying, based off of what we already know, she has already told.
I know. In my movie,
okay.
she doesn't. In my movie, she doesn't say. She's like, oh, I was in love, but he left me.
Okay.
Or something like that. And then it's like, you told me he left you, and now you're back.
So now we got jealous vibe.
Now you got like a best friend who's jealous because like now she's not getting all the attention like she liked.
It sounds like some people I know.
So I'm just saying, like see how interesting that movie can be. Like,
yes, it could have been.
But you get like a weird like love triangle without it being like romantic. It's like friendship versus romance.
But the thing is, that's not what we have.
I know.
We have this. Which again is
so I got all hyped up like talking about my movie.
Awful. Also, another thing that I just don't understand is just some of the timing. And I know it's Hollywood magic and things are cut out, but just the travel time and how like just the timeline. I was just like, okay, so you were in Cairo, but now you're back in.
It's nighttime in DC. It's daytime in Cairo. There's a 10-hour difference, so that makes sense. But you just flew your jet from DC to Cairo one way. You have to fill up. I'm assuming you got to stop and get gas somewhere, and you can't just pull into a fucking Shell and be like, "Can I get 20 on 5?"
Additionally, the whole radar thing, I was like, visibility.
oh yeah, I forgot radar was a thing, and it's like they're still bouncing radio signals off your plane just because it's invisible. It like, still exists.
Was there like a radar shield with the invisibility shield? Just questions. Questions.
If they would have just never brought up radar.
It would have been. I would have even thought. I maybe would have said, "Oh, well, what about radar?"
What about radar? Oh, well, they didn't bring it up. Obviously not a problem.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But they brought it up, so now it's like. Well,
it was a fun joke in the moment. Again,
this
Steve
is
Trevor.
why
Again,
DC
Chris
is
Pine
the way
just...
that DC is because they cannot figure out a way to make their jokes stick. You know what I mean? Like with any type of like realism, like they don't stick.
I don't expect perfection from a movie. I just want to be entertained, and I was entertained for 40% of the movie. The first third, I'm in. I'm all in the first third of the movie, and then once Maxwell Lord is like, "I'm going to Cairo," I'm out. Yeah, I'm automatically out.
Yeah, once he like wished himself into the stone and did all, I was just like, oh, okay, I can kind of like, you know how like you see where a movie is going and you know how it's gonna, you don't know
it's
like, you know the end game, but you just don't know how it's gonna play out.
Yeah, it's
and you just watch to see how they're going to do this. That's kind of how I felt. Like I knew what was going to happen in the end. I just didn't know how they were going to get there, and I really didn't like the ride on the way over.
That's fair.
And another thing. No,
I wanted to like this movie so much. I was so pumped for it because I loved the first one. I loved the first one. Even the giant fuck you fight at the end of the first one. That's totally out of place. It doesn't fit.
It was just as long as well. It was just as long.
It just... Somebody fucked with something in this movie, and I can't... It was like a bunch of little stuff. It's death by 1,000 cuts, because this movie has some pacing issues. It's got lots of bad writing. I don't agree with the cheetah form at all. I think she should just stay like bad bitch in heels with like a fucking like leopard print
outfit or something.
Like she got like a leopard print jacket.
Yeah, that the fact that they went all the way and actually made her like this hybrid humanoid type of concoction. I wasn't sold.
And then she just tears apart the armor that
Oh yeah, I was like, so this held off the armies of men.
She just
came in and ripped it apart with her
She's like, give me 3 minutes. I got
cheetah
this.
Hands.
Scrap. I'm gonna turn this bitch to scrap.
I was just like, so basically the whole, even just, and when I was thinking about that, the whole introduction of the suit, because they actually gave that time in the movie.
At the very beginning. Look at our golden idol, the woman who withstood humanity. And then it's like, oh, by the way, I found the armor.
So am I missing something from like the comics? Because I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch the comics. I didn't watch the comics. It's a long night. I didn't read the comics, so I'm not really sure on all the background, but I just kind of feel like that's another thing in the movie that it was nice to see, but it just wasn't necessary to progress the plot. She could have fought her in anything in that
again
scene.
I think the armor does a really good job. I just think that they fucked with the chemistry a little bit by being like, oh, because you wish for Steve Trevor, your powers go away. I would have preferred it, oh, she wished to be like Diana, so now she gets Diana's power. And
draining her.
Yeah, and again, powers. What does Gal Gadot lose? Gal Gadot doesn't lose anything, but now she's stuck with a moral quandary. She's now more human, and she has to deal with a moral... Like, it's like when you... like, the best Superman stories don't have to do with him beating people up. It's moral questions. Yeah. Like how does Superman handle somebody who's like, I want to kill myself because I got cancer? Or how does Superman handle being stuck in a situation where, like, even having all the powers in the world doesn't help him solve...
Mr. Incredible, that's what happened to him. He got sued for saving a guy who tried to kill himself.
It's just one of those things, like you put her in a moral quandary, you don't let her punch her way out, and I think that's a better story. You know what?
I agree. Yeah, because she's known, well, I won't say known for punching her way out, but we already know that she can. She can
lay a bitch out. She fucking messed people up in Batman versus Superman.
She did. She laid them all out.
This movie could have been so amazing, and I believe... the spirit... I don't think anybody makes bad movies on purpose. I think somebody fucked with the chemistry in this one. It makes it weird.
I agree.
Because the spirit is there. There's a good movie in there. You can find it. You can dig it out. I put it together. Like I put what I think is a better movie together.
I would have to agree. I'd watch that movie. It seems more... Yeah, like you get more... That's the whole part about going to the movies is connecting with the characters and seeing something in the characters that you also see in yourself. Maybe that movie inspired you to, you be like, you know what, hey, I need to confront this thing in my life. That's what movies and storytelling is supposed to do. It's supposed to inspire you, whether that, however it inspires you, to each its own. But that's usually what I go to the movies for. I want to walk out the movie saying, oh, like I'm pumped, or oh, I feel good, or oh, like this was really having me like, think or really ponder some shit. Yeah. This movie was just like, cool, another action hero, like just another superhero movie with punching and a bad guy and a moral dilemma. It was just bare bones essentially, and crap writing thrown on top. So I take it we did not like this movie. Personally, we didn't like this movie. Candace and Rudy did not like this movie.
Yeah,
did not love this movie. I won't
this
say
is a movie
I'm not gonna see it again after this.
I don't think I could recommend this movie. I really want to. I want to say like there are good.
Just wait for them to show it on Freeform, Family, and with the commercial breaks and edited, because you will still get the same movie experience on Freeform with the edit. Anyways, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I think watch it once
and form your own opinion.
I think it's worth one watch. I don't think this is a movie I'm probably coming back to.
No, I didn't want to watch it.
This is probably my Iron Man 3. Like, I liked Iron Man 3.
But I don't actively seek out watching Iron Man 3. Like, Iron Man 2. I watch Iron Man 1 because it's a great movie. Mm-hmm. And Robert Downey Jr. does an amazing job. And I would watch Iron Man 3 because you know why? Everybody gets you know what I mean? Like, Rhodey gets something. What's her name? Pepper gets something. Like,
she gets powers for like 3 minutes. She gets just
so cute. You know, like I'm like, oh look, everyone's fighting. But the second one, I was just like, electric string. Mickey work.
I can't.
Mickey work and electric strings.
You know what? I think I'm gonna go ahead and put this one as.
I would truth lasso this movie right on the fire.
Okay. Yeah, this movie was a hot mess. This like. I don't want to say most. Like a lot of DC tentpole movies are. This movie's a bit of a hot mess. I don't think I can recommend this one.
Inconsistency in the storyline, like the whole flying thing. I'm like, since
she just flies now.
She's flying.
She falling real fancy, or she actually is she like right. She Buzz Lightyear? We're falling with style,
we're lassoing or is it Cloud? And
I don't mind her like riding the lightning. That was fucking
That's actually pretty cool.
But like her just being like, I'm a lasso oxygen and then out. Like I don't get that.
Just gonna use this oxygen as momentum.
Yeah, and she just I had so many problems with this movie. And I like Gal Gadot. I don't think she's like the greatest actress in the world, but I think if you put her up with Kristen Wiig or Chris Pine, she can really fucking shine. Somebody she can.
So she had a crying scene. I felt that. I felt that. It's not.
Yeah, she can play off of other people. I think if you just like stick her by herself and she's supposed to carry a film, I don't think it's gonna work that well. I like her a lot. I really do, but I don't think she's that amazing. And here's the thing. Oh God, now that you got me ranting again. I like Pedro Pascal. I just don't think I need him in this movie. I liked all of his bits. I liked because he acted the fuck out this movie.
He did.
That's
what I mean. There are several elements of this movie that are not needed, and the storyline could still progress, and you would have had a better story, something more to digest than this.
I liked his stuff, and I think you could have maybe set him up as a villain in like the greater DC universe or in like the next Wonder Woman movie. You might have been able to set him up. Because he's really great.
They're not thinking about long term. They're thinking about right now. See, those are the executives.
Because I felt like when he was like at the end of the movie when he's like screaming for his son, like I felt that. I was like I can feel the emotion you're putting into this movie. The music is swelling. He's like screaming. He's like, I need my son, my boy, Alistair.
Speaking of his son, and speaking of that last ending scene, this killed me. We clearly saw that little boy out there on the highway screaming for his dad, and all of a sudden his dad just emerges from the white or this bunker.
No, Marine. Like he got flown back to DC on Marine One.
Oh, I'm fine. He got flued out. So he got flued out back to DC, and then all of a sudden his son just emerges from the bushes. I'm like, this little boy was out here on the highway, and now all of a sudden, miraculously, now that your dad has touched down in this damn helicopter, it just popped out.
A lot of problems with this movie, and I try most of the time I can suspend my disbelief and oh yeah, sure, I'll ride with it for the fun of the movie. I'll ride with it, but this one pulled me out a ton.
At this point, I'm just being petty, but I was just like, where did he come? We just saw him on the highway. I know he's not that fast. Or how much time has elapsed? Where are we?
I don't. Yeah, it took him 20 minutes to get there. I don't think there's an island off of DC.
How long?
Don't watch this movie. You know what? You solidified. Don't watch this movie. It's your choice. It's your life. Live it to your best, however you see fit. But for me, I can't. I don't think I could recommend this one to anybody.
I won't be watching it again. Again, if you really want to see it,
go ahead.
I wouldn't spend money on it. I would wait for it to just come back to HBO Max if you have HBO Max, or again, just wait 4 to 5 years and watch it on Freeform with the commercials and the edited version, because you'll get the same story.
I think that's it for us.
Yeah, that's all. I really don't have anything else to say.
It was a harsh movie, and I don't think we talked that deeply about it, but I made it. I think what I made it better. What I think was a better movie. So, fuck it. Let's go with that.
Cool.
That's gonna be it for us today on Minority Movie Report. My name is Rudy.
I'm Candace.
Jesus Christ. It's been a day. Have yourselves a wonderful evening or day. Remember, stay healthy, stay safe.
Drink your water.
Take care of yourselves out there. Bye.
Yeah, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, again, I think that it was super cute to kind of have that reverse role play where in the first one she was the one who was out of touch and didn't, she was trying to figure out her way in this new world, and she was trying to navigate and understand the principles and understand just the whole rhetoric of the world right now, versus in this movie you have that happening to Trevor Noah, and she's having to teach him like the new ways of the new world, and I think that was a cute role.
Did you call Trevor Noah?
Yeah, Noah. Sorry, not Trevor. Steve Trevor. I said Trevor Noah, which I do love him, but that's not Steve Trevor. Sorry, there's Trevor, and then yeah. Okay. Anyways, thank you for that, Kat.
You're welcome.